Bitte los. Ciao.
So good evening and welcome to the post-match press conference of Team Germany after the quarterfinal against Spain. If you have a question, please raise your hand, wait for the microphone, but we start with the head coach. Welcome, Julian Nagelsmann. Ihre Einschätzung bitte.
Ja, schönen guten Abend. Zuallererst mal Gratulation an Spanien zum Erreichen.
Good evening. First of all, congratulations to Spain for reaching the semi-finals. Well, I think we saw two different half-times. We started very nervously, made too many fouls, had too many yellow cards very early. In general, nonetheless, it was good that we wanted to send a sign, that we wanted to be present. I think that Spain didn't defend very well in the first half-time. It was quite simple for us to get into the last third, but we played the last pass too fast. Not precise enough. I think both teams had enough respect. All attacks from Spain, we defended them very well. But nonetheless, the whole game was too open. And then in the second half, we reacted with our personnel in a good way, and we came better into the game. And after the 60th minute, we were clearly the better team with many clear chances. And towards the end, I think that we scored was well deserved. And with the exception of the first 5 minutes of the second half of the extra time, I think it was almost only us who wanted to win. We invested so much. We had the shot on a goalpost. We had the header in the 122nd minute. So I think a draw would have been well deserved. We had the chance of Flo where he missed the goal with only by 2 centimeters. So I think we were really good into the game. And then with the last chance, we concede the goal. I don't know if we opened up too much, if we risked too much. If someone wants to ask me that question, I would say no. But unfortunately, in that situation, we didn't have enough pressure on the wing, and Dani Olmo was able to play this super nice cross. Then we had this situation with the handball, but I don't want to talk too much about it, but I want to benefit of this stage here just to talk about football in general, also for others maybe. It would be nice if it would be assessed what is the intention behind a ball. I don't know why it's not possible in football. If someone shoots the ball into the grandstands and someone else touches the ball with the hand, I would never book him and never punish that. But when the ball is clearly going onto the goal and there is a hand, you can talk about intention. So you have to see where the shot was aimed. We have 50 robots who bring us our coffee. So I think there should be an AI also that calculates crosses, where the crosses go. And in one situation against Switzerland, we had the penalty, and in other situations where the ball would go under the grandstand, there is no penalty. This is quite simple. So we should really assess the intention of the shot, where the shot went towards. But certainly this wasn't the only reason why we lost the game. Mr. Nagelsmann, Fülle just said in an interview that you found the right words, the just words in the lockers. What did you say to your team? Well, first of all, I'm happy that he said that. Well, I told them that I think they didn't deserve it as a group. I think all of us were missing our families, but there was none amongst us who wanted to leave the home ground. No, we had a really great time all together. Also, we had visits from our family, but we worked very concentrated. It was a very good unity also from all the players who were on the bench from the beginning of those 6 weeks during preparation and the tournament now, there was not only one single situation where I had to intervene as a coach, and this is really extraordinary. We had a very good atmosphere, and I think what was reproached towards the national team in the past, that they didn't want to win, that they didn't show enough will to win, I think today you couldn't see that for 1 second. You could see that we gave it everything to win the game. The players invested everything on the pitch. And, well, I said them, they should take that with them, that we are a country which is too much sad in too many situations, looking at many situations with a very dark perspective. And I hope that this symbiosis between football supporters and the national team can happen also in the midst of our society, that we understand as a society that we can create something, that we can move things, and that we are stronger in unity. Together with your supporters, you're stronger. Together with your neighbor, you're stronger. That we think more about things that we can do together. And this togetherness, this unity felt really good. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Julian, you said on TV already that you're close to tears. Your voice is still a little bit shaky. Tomorrow in the Bild-Zeitung, there will certainly be a headline that says, what a scam, no penalty given. So what do you say? Well, there's always this rule, and I hope that there's not a wrong decision. I think they applied a rule that finally this wasn't a penalty. For me, it's only about to make it more practical, to make it more logical how this rule is assessed. Because like that, you always have to look, is the hand at 3 o'clock or a little bit lower, a little bit higher? So I don't want to assess that at a millisecond. There are people who have big muscles, they have different arm movements than I have. So you can't really tell, is this natural, is this unnatural? How do you want to assess it? If you would have an extra assessment, looking where the ball went, did he go into the clouds or did he go towards the goal? And if someone stops the ball with his hand, well, in one case it's penalty and in the other it's none. And then no one could say it's unjust if the ball went into the grandstands. If this would be the case, then there would be a free kick or whatever if the ball got deflected. That's the important point for me. So I'm really sad for the team, because I am convinced, I think really that we invested very much in order to qualify for the next round, and not as many times before, like in November also, well, we try to play a good game and afterwards we're leaving, we're going back home. No, this time I really had the feeling that every player, regardless if he was in the starting 11 or from the bench, there was not one single second where one of my players didn't invest anything. Today you saw all of our bench were on their feet towards the end. So yeah, it's really hurting for my team.
It was a very dramatic minute before the referee decided not to give a penalty. What went through your head during that minute?
Just hope that we get a penalty. That's all. It's not possible for me to see it from this distance if it's handball or not. After the game, I saw it on television, then it's more clear than during the game. But during that minute, it's just hope that you get a penalty. And I think it's also just hope for the Spanish guys to didn't concede one. So at the end, they were more lucky than us.
Herr Nagelsmann, das Turnier war für Sie ja auch Neuland als Bundestrainer.
Mr. Nagelsmann, this tournament was a new terrain for you also. What do you take from it for yourself from those 6 weeks? Well, we have a great coaching stuff, really an extraordinary stuff. At all clubs where I used to work, I always had the feeling that we need to change something with the staff, that we have to bring in new elements. There are always a few details where you have the feeling, and it doesn't have to do anything necessarily with an individual person, but with the whole mixture. And this was for me the first time with the staff and everyone. So huge compliment to everyone. There's no one with a huge ego, no one who takes himself or herself more important than someone else. Also among us in the coaching staff, there was not one moment of dispute or stress. So I will take that with me, definitely, that we made a very good job as a whole group in the link with the team and the staff. And I would have liked to have that feeling one more week together with the supporters. And what is also really sad, that there will be not another home Euro in my career, probably. And what's also hurting is that you have to wait 2 more years to become world champion. You like hearing that, huh? I'm sure you like hearing that. What do you want to hear? That we get eliminated in the group stage? Of course we want to become world champion. Everybody wants that.
Señor Nagelsmann, le gustaría pedirle una opinión acerca de Toni Kroos. Hoy se ha despedido ante toda la...
Right, Toni Kroos just said goodbye in a complicated game in front of his fans. How do you assess the career of Toni Kroos, such a big reference for Germany and for their clubs, for the clubs he's played in, actually?
Ja, die Karriere von Toni kann man nicht hoch genug einschätzen.
Well, the career of Toni Kroos, you can't appreciate it enough.
Ich glaube, das, was alle sehen, was
I think what everyone sees and what is quite obvious with all his successes, which are extraordinary, probably for German player, probably unique, maybe for eternity. For sure, one of the biggest players from Germany. And I can say frankly that I found it weird that the weeks before, when it was known that I wanted to get him back, I think there was no one who thought that this was a good idea. And the week when he came back, after he came back, everyone said, I had this idea for a long time. Why does the national coach only do it now? So, of course, everybody knows his successes in sport, but what many people maybe not know so well is his character as a person. For example, how he talked to the team in a very difficult, sad moment for himself, the role he takes for himself, which is not a role of being special, but he's seeing himself always as part of this group. And this human kindness also that he has with his wife, with his children, with his teammates, it's really extraordinary. So... to assess that career, for me, it's, this career is even bigger than 6 Champions League titles.
Mr. Nagelsmann, looking how the team played in the first half and how it played in the second, don't you regret about any decisions about the first 11?
It's always like that. You have to make decisions as a head coach. It's like that. And then it's also important... if you may make a decision, to evaluate the decision, to look what we can do in a different way in the second half, and then react in the halftime and do new decisions. We did like that, and I think the second half was good. We have always kind of an idea when we do decisions before a game, and we've kind of a plan and kind of a roadmap. We talk about a game and then we do decisions as a team. And when we're not happy with the decision, we try to do it in a different way around in halftime or in the second half. We did like that, so that's the hard fact as a head coach. Make decisions and be brave to do one.
Herr Nagelsmann, Sie haben es eben schon selbst angesprochen, also selbst den Blick nach vorn gerichtet, trotz all der Enttäuschung auf die...
Mr. Nagelsmann, you already mentioned that you look into the future now, despite of the disappointment today. You have a lot of young players already in your ranks. What perspective has this team also in regard to the World Cup? Well, first of all, we have the Nations League, then we have the qualification for the World Cup. First of all, we have to qualify for the World Cup. This is the first step. And then, we have a squad which is not extremely young. We integrated a few younger players, but also we have a few older players. So first of all, we will think about the squad for the Nations League, which is maybe not that easy because it's not that enthusiastic as a tournament, maybe as probably the Nations League. Not as great as a Euro or as a World Cup. So, of course, for the Nations League, we will certainly do a few things with the squad and then try to build up the perfect squad for the World Cup. How this will be precisely, I will have talks with certain players, but to be honest, I didn't think so much about it before the game. Of course, there will be a few changes in order to be well prepared for the Nations League and the qualification of the World Cup.
Continue in a few minutes with the press conference of Team Spain.